At 5 p.m. on the unassuming afternoon of January 12th, the small and impoverished island nation of Haiti was struck by disaster. A large earthquake struck the island nation and clocked in as a magnitude 7.0 on the Richter scale, with many smaller aftershocks following. The epicenter of the quake was discovered to be 16 miles away from Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. The earthquake was caused by the buildup and subsequent release of pressure at a transform boundary between the North American and Caribbean tectonic plates. This particular earthquake occurred at what is called a strike-slip fault. At strike-slip faults, pressure builds into the two plates eventually overpower each other's resistance and slide past each other in opposite directions, releasing large amounts of energy. Because the earthquake was large and because the country of Haiti is very poor, there was a huge loss of life. Haitian authorities and foreign aid organizations found it impossible to calculate the death toll of the earthquake. Some estimates are as low as 40,000, while others, including the Haitian government, believe over 300,000 people lost their lives. Prior to the quake, the infrastructure of Haiti was not anywhere on par with what we are used to as Americans. The infrastructure in Haiti is poor, with a lack of building codes to withstand earthquakes. This was truly one of the worst places an earthquake could have happened. About 1 million Haitians were displaced from their homes due to failing infrastructure. News of the earthquake in Haiti helped stir up worldwide support and humanitarian efforts for the country, with even the British and American Air Forces arriving to help airlift injured survivors to hospitals elsewhere. While all of this humanitarian aid certainly helped, Haiti's infrastructure was very, very poor prior to the earthquake, which made the supply of aid to Haiti even more difficult. For example, the first of these two images is Port-au-Prince before the 2010 earthquake. The infrastructure, as you can see, it was already really poor, but after the earthquake, it was much worse. Many buildings collapsed and were lost entirely. If the infrastructure of Haiti was more stable and prepared for earthquakes, there certainly would have been less casualties. The 2010 Haiti earthquake also caused damage to the environment in addition to the monstrous death toll. Gas lines in Haiti couldn't handle the force of the quake and broke, producing large and destructive fires. Additionally, landslides occurred, causing even more infrastructural damage, in addition to what the earthquake had already caused.